in children. It provides shelter, education, healthcare, and most importantly, hope. And we would like to take this opportunity to commend the work of SOS, and we are delighted to welcome Dame Mary Richardson, the President of SOS Village UK, who will receive the award on behalf of the organisation. The prize comprises of a trophy, a certificate, and £10,000.
Your Holiness, ladies and gentlemen, I'm deeply moved, honoured and privileged to receive the International Ahmadiyya Muslim Prize for the Advancement of Peace. I accept this on behalf of all the SOS adults who dedicate their lives to this wonderful and quiet organisation, and on behalf of the orphans in their care, both those in the SOS villages and the hundreds of thousands in the community in 133 countries and territories. At SOS, we work alongside all governments and raise children of different faiths under one roof in a loving family home. We work in numerous places where there is or has been conflict, but we put children first at all times. This prize is for SOS children, and we accept this honour with immense gratitude. The money will be spent for our work worldwide, wherever the need is greatest. Thank you.
I now have the honour of requesting His Holiness Hazrat Mirza Masroor Ahmad, head of the worldwide Ahmadiyya Muslim community and the fifth successor to the promised Messiah, to deliver the keynote address.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitani rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. All our guests, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace and blessing of Allah be upon you all. Today, after a period of 1 year, I once again have the opportunity to welcome all of our distinguished guests to this event. I am extremely grateful to all of you as you have spared your time to come and attend today. Indeed, most of you are well acquainted with this event, which has come to be known as the Peace Symposium. This event is organized each year by the Ahmadiyya Muslim community and is just one of our many efforts to try and fulfill our desire for peace to be established in the world. In attendance today are some new friends who are attending this function for the first time, whilst others are old friends who have supported our efforts for many years. Regardless, all of you are well educated and share our desire for peace to be established in the world. And it is due to this desire that you are all attending this event. And all of you are here today with the heartfelt wish that the world comes to be filled with love affection, and friendship. And it is this very attitude and these very values that the vast majority of the world longs for and which it stands in need of. In view of all of this, these are the reasons why all of you who come from different backgrounds, nations, and religions are sitting in front of me today. As I have said, we hold this conference each year, and on each occasion the same sentiment and hope is expressed by all of us, which is that peace in the world comes to be established before our very eyes. And so each year, I also request all of you to endeavor to promote peace wherever you have the opportunity and with whomever you have contact. And furthermore, I also request all those who are linked to political parties or governments that they should also convey this message of peace within their circles of influence. It is essential that everyone is made aware that for the establishment of world peace, there is a far greater need for high and principled moral values than ever before. As far as the Ahmadiyya community is concerned, wherever and whenever the opportunity arises, we openly express and declare our view that there is only one way to save the world from destruction and devastation that it is heading towards us. And that is that we must all endeavor to spread love, affection, and a sense of community. Most importantly, the world must come to recognize its Creator, who is the one God. This is because it is a recognition of the Creator that leads us towards love and compassion for His creation. And when this becomes part of our character, it is then that we become recipient of God's love. We constantly raise our voice calling for peace in the world. And it is the pain and anguish we feel in our hearts that inspires us to try and alleviate the suffering of mankind and to make the world we live in a better place. Indeed, this very function is just one of our many efforts towards achieving this goal. And as I have already said, all of you also hold these noble desires. Furthermore, I have repeatedly called on politicians and religious leaders to strive for peace. Yet, in spite of all of these efforts, we find that anxiety and turmoil continue to spread and increase throughout the world. In today's world, we find so much strife, restlessness, and disorder. In some countries, members of the public are fighting and waging wars amongst themselves. In some nations, the public is fighting against the government, or conversely, the rulers are attacking their own people. Terrorist groups are fueling anarchy and disorder to fulfill their vested interests, and so they are arbitrarily killing innocent women, children, and the elderly. Then, in some countries, as a means to fulfill their own interests, political parties are warring with each other rather than coming together for the betterment of their nations. We also find some governments and countries that are continuously casting their glances enviously in the direction of the resources of other nations. And the major powers of the world are consumed by their efforts to maintain their supremacy and leave no stone unturned in their efforts towards pursuing this goal. Bearing all of this in mind, we find that neither the Ahmadiyya community nor the majority of you who are members of the public have the power or authority to develop policies to bring positive change. This is because we do not hold any governmental power or office. In fact, I would go as far as to say that even the politicians with whom we have developed friendly relations and who always agree with us when they are in our company, they too are unable to speak out. Instead, their voices too are being drowned out and they are prevented from forwarding their views. This is either because they are forced to follow party policies or perhaps due to external pressures from other world powers or political allies that are weighing them down. Nevertheless, we who take part in this Peace Symposium each year undoubtedly hold a desire for peace to be established. And certainly we express our opinions and feelings that love, compassion, and brotherhood should be established amongst all religions, all nationalities, all races, and indeed amongst all people. Unfortunately, though we are powerless to actually bring this vision to light, we do not have the authority or means to achieve the result that we long for. I recall that a couple of years ago, in this very hall, during our Peace Symposium, I delivered a speech detailing the ways and means for world peace to be established. And I also spoke about how the United Nations ought to function. Afterwards, our very dear and respected friend, Lord Eric Avery, commented that the speech ought to have been delivered